friend who he had a hilarious joke where it was like honestly, whenever I went somewhere, I'd fall asleep on the travels. Like he'd be in a car, fall asleep, and then wake up somewhere, and then on his way back. And so he never actually saw the transit to where he was going. So part of him started becoming more and more convinced that he lived a Truman-esque, like a Truman Show-esque life.
Where, they just like they put him to
we're going on vacation, and like gas gets pumped into the car, and like it was a great joke.
You could also work that into being a time traveler too.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
You just wanted you reached for the stars and you just couldn't get it.
I flew too close to the sun.
Oh, Icarus, you fool! Speaking of TV being reality, though, when I was a kid, my sister, both my siblings were just horrible to me.
Are you going to talk about Dragon Ball Z?
What?
Let him tell his story.
Sorry.
No. So I don't even know what game show this was. But there's this game show, and it was very Jeopardy-like. It was just basic trivia. And it ended with, like... It was shot in a warehouse, and it ended with the host just kind of doing this, like, maniacal laughter. And it ended, and I asked my sister when I was real little, maybe 4 or 5 years old, why did he laugh like that? And she told me, she's like, oh, because the losers die. Only the winner gets to live. They get the money, and they get to live. The other two die.
I think that's how we should run subscription to Pantheon.
Yeah.
You want to become a god? Fight them.
Fight the
gods.
Be the best VFX artist. So I was
Does
just
that mean you have to fight people like Kubrick and Spielberg?
oh fuck.
Man, fighting the ghost of Kubrick would be like insane. I
feel like the ghost of Kubrick is stronger than
living
Kubrick.
I feel like you would be stuck in hallways.
Obi-Wan.
He would just like enchant hallways. You would live in a maze. It would be like the Shining maze leading to another maze, being to like.
He's like the Minotaur.
He is the Minotaur.
The Kubrick boss battle.
Stanley Kubrick is the Minotaur.
The boss battle is just you going, like, getting into horrible Kubrick scenarios. Like, you turn a corner in a maze and just you get drowned in blood and stuff.
He turns you into a Kubrick.
No.
I shall use you to build my next maze. You have failed.
Do you think Kubrick would have loved Minecraft because it's all cube?
He would have hated it. He would have hated it because it would have been stupid to him. It would have been like, this is not art.
I think Kubrick would have hated just everything right now.
Yeah.
He'd be very, very depressed. Or angry. He would pull an Alan Moore and just pull himself from the public eye and disappear forever.
But that being said, he'd also probably still be doing stuff because like he had people like his films never really made any money. No. But he had people who were like, this guy's got to keep making movies, so they kept giving him stuff. But I think by the time like Eyes Wide Shut came out, people were starting to figure out like, oh, this guy's a genius. Also, I love Eyes Wide Shut. I
haven't seen Eyes Wide Shut.
It's so good. It's so much fun.
Have you guys ever seen like the interior of facilities in North Korea?
What
facilities?
Wait a second.
I swear to God, this is gonna.
Let's do this.
Segues properly.
How do we get the segue?
So there's a bunch of pictures that recently got released where like North Korea's like, look, we're really good and we have infrastructure, and they showed like these surprisingly nice shots of like different like government buildings that they had. They're like, this is like Parliament, this is like our welcome center for visitors that aren't allowed to come here. Mm-hmm. And all of it is very symmetrical and looks exactly like something from a Kubrick film. And like it was all built in like the 80s and stuff, so it has that kind of architecture, so it like feels very much like Kubrick.
I feel Kubrick's often given too much credit for symmetry. Like I know he likes symmetry, but it's not literally everything he does. Like there are nice little hallways. He's very good at like building a really cool vanishing point. But like I think when people are like, oh, I'm making this Kubrickian, it's like I don't know why I threw the accent in there, but
I think we should owe it all to Wes Anderson then.
Oh my goodness! Brody, don't get me started on Wes Anderson. I could talk for a while. I don't hate him. I just like, okay, moving right along, mowing right over that subject. I think oftentimes we're like, they jump on the idea of his symmetry and his imagery, but he's also very good. I think he's very good at the human moments in like, if you guys have seen Paths of Glory, I think Paths of Glory is a completely human film that is like the bureaucracy of war, like causing issues. What?
No. I think it's just easier for people to latch on to visual styles than like storytelling styles.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. I'm just saying. I'm voicing that. I think oftentimes people are like, "Oh, it's all symmetrical," but it's not all symmetrical. Like you take a look at a lot of the stuff in The Shining. There's a lot of really nice off-kilter stuff. There's like
a lot of his like most famous images though are symmetrical.
And it's something. It was something that was very much in his early works,
Yeah.
like Killer's Kiss. There's that one shot of the stairwell that everyone likes to use, like everyone likes to talk about when they're talking about his early work, sort of thing. So
yeah,
I get that.
Would you say that, I don't know a lot about film, would you say that it's more his eye for perspective or whatever than his eye for symmetry? Because what I'm thinking of is just The Shining, and there's a lot of really cool shots.
Oh,
like
yeah.
in his like big workroom, there's a lot of really cool shots in there to like just, there's a bazillion different angles of just showing Jack working.
He's very much a filmmaker who is very knowledgeable about how to manipulate space. I think there's that I cannot remember the director of photography's name, but on was it The Killers? No, on one of his early films, director of photography, I should just look it up, but a director of photography who'd won an Academy Award, who was like a big director of photography, came in, and Kubrick was setting up a shot and was like, okay, so I want this lens on it, set up this far away from it, and then we'll do it. And the director of photography is like, oh, no one does that. So when Kubrick left, he did he's like, oh, this is how I would do it, sort of thing. And so he did it. And then Kubrick came back. He's like, nope, you did it wrong. You did it wrong. Because he knew exactly what the lenses were going to do to the image. Because based on like how long the lens is, it'll show how far or close an image is in more ways than one. I mean, it's a big technical, kind of technical thing that I don't know I can explain as well. No. It's something that you just see. It's like light bends a little more. Again, another very like simplistic way of putting it, but when you're using a wider lens, things look farther, sort of thing. So keeping that in mind, Kubrick was always able to say like, I can get the same framing with a certain lens and moving it closer, moving it farther, but everything else in the background is going to be this far or this close to it. So he was very aware of that, and I think that's what he brought to all of his films, is how much of the lensing and the shape of the building comes into his work, sort of thing. And it's used so well in The Shining. It's used so well in, I think there's a lot of stuff in Eyes Wide Shut that's very good with that. Not even just the culty scenes, but like when Tom Cruise is walking around what's kind of obviously a set of downtown New York, but also feels like artificial in a way where it's like dreamlike. And I think a lot of the lensing that goes into that is very important. Yeah, so I can say Brody's kind of looking at me like he's talked about Kubrick for so long. Let's what should we do?
No, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, what? How can I add to this conversation? And the only thing I can think of is it pronounced Kubrick or Kubrick?
I don't know. I honestly, I've been doing it one way, and I've just been like, if someone corrects me, sure, I don't give a shit, but
yeah, like I know it's not like a big concern, but that's literally all I can think of. Because you know so much more about Kubrick. I'm like, I can't. One thing I can, no, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, all I can think of is that, and how in The Shining, the hotel doesn't make sense. But he did that on purpose.
He did that on purpose. The Shining is talked about so much that at this point, I don't want to talk about it because it's nothing new. We all know that the hotel doesn't make sense. Well, it's not even that. It's just everyone has spoken about it so much that I'm actually like, I'm not entirely sure what the story of it is anymore. Like everyone's like, oh no, it's this. Oh no,
the story of The Shining.
No, not the story, but like whether certain things were like on purpose, or whether certain things were, because people will say like, oh, this was a decision he made, or someone else will come out and say, oh, it was a production issue we had to overcome, sort of thing. And like, I'd like to think it's a mixture of both, but like The Shining is spoken about so much and written about so much that it's just like finding the real truth in there is like, I don't know, to the point where it's like the only movie I can think of that could spawn something like Room 238, where a bunch of people are just talking about stuff that I don't actually think makes any sense. Like,
oh no, Room 238 is
that the Samuel L.
It's
Jackson
interesting.
one?
No, that's
1408.
Yeah, that's another Stephen King film though.
Yeah.
But like it's 238 is the whole bunch of like people got together and started talking about their theories on what's
it's
inside
basically
The
just
Shining.
a documentary about The Shining.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was up with the end of it where it just shows Jack's face, but in like the past shot, is he a ghost of something?
It's like
I didn't understand
You've always been here, Mr. Torrance.
Yeah.
Like it's playing with
that bit I
themes
just
of
had a problem
essentialism
with.
and
Yeah.
like destiny and like stuff like that.
I don't know. I found that took away from the story.
Oh, I thought it was
because
I thought it was great. I thought it's
Really?
like you were born to be here. Did you guys see?
You were born to be.
I don't know. I thought
That's
it
an
took away.
interesting way to look at it.
I thought it took away from the human aspect of like he this is cabin fever to the worst degree.
It's not though.
There's
It's
Well, like there are spooky ghosts because like it unlocks the door for him and stuff. But
well, it's more of it's more of like the house possessing him more than
Was it?
cabin
Okay.
fever.
there is
Yeah.
there is a cut, a European cut of The Shining, which supposedly is like it brings out some different things, like the whole Jack Torrance being an actual like monster. Like he's actually like an abusive father.
In the
and,
book,
like,
he's like it's a lot hinted at a lot more that he has an anger.
let's
and-
not say
Oh, yeah.
hinted. It is bluntly
yeah.
stated.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
okay,
obvious
yeah.
in the film too, though.
Yeah.
It is,
Well,
but
yeah.
there's a little more. I think there's a little more play with it in the just the way it's cut in the European cut. I haven't seen it, but my buddy Matt saw it, and he was like, yeah, like there's some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. Like it's one of those things. But yeah, like I think Jack Torrance just being like it's pulls the hotel pulling the worst out of a
yeah. That's
human
how
being.
I kind of took it. It was just like
Shelley Duvall gets more shrill and annoying as
my-
the wife as time goes on. It's like, oh, that's her major negative quality.
this is a story that like I've heard told a million times. And I don't know if it's actually true, but there's stories about how Kubrick just annihilated her psyche off camera.
Oh yeah,
So that she was just a nervous wreck
tortured her.
in and out.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of talk about like how much there was like it's just crazy being on set and like
Yeah.
Hitchcock would do that too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the film Hitchcock, like he actually like opened.
we're pulling the oh my gosh, has anyone seen the is it The Girl, the one with where Toby Jones plays Hitchcock?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, I wanted to see that because he does Toby, whenever there is a movie that comes out, Toby Jones does the B version of it. Like, Toby Jones did the Hitchcock thing. He did a Titanic like reference thing where it was weird.
Was he Steve Jobs at some point recently?
Maybe we should take a look into it. But
Speaking of which, I can't believe there's another Steve Jobs movie coming out.
Was that 3?
I don't
There's
know.
actually-
I stopped paying attention.
We had
They're
the
all the
50
same
million
film to me.
Yeah.
I don't care. I like Steve Jobs is not one of the people that I'm like I gotta know so much about this person. Like I'm like okay, cool. Like
I want to see a
whatever.
Wozniak film.
Well,
Well, that's kind of how I'm taking this film because I'm just gonna watch it as a Wozniak film because I'm excited to see Seth Rogen because I think he actually has acting chops and he never gets to.
Seth Rogen is playing Wozniak?
Yeah!
In which one?
The new Fassbender Jobs
The one with
movie.
Fassbender?
Fassbender.
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 Yeah, he's Wozniak, and I'm really
awesome.
excited. There's a clip where he's just talking to Steve Jobs about the cube, and Wozniak predicted. He's just like this cube sucks. It doesn't work. No one's gonna buy the cube, and the cube
Wait.
was Jobs' first massive failure.
Oh, we're not talking about the film.
Well, we're
Wait,
talking
are we
about
talking about the Jim Henson film? We could talk about the Jim Henson film if you
Jim
want.
Henson film.
He did the movie. He did a Cube movie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Ah?
I'll look it up later.
Okay.
the cube was a personal computer, and it was Jobs' vision of a personal computer that fit tightly into this beautiful little cube, and it was super ahead of its time, and it was it set the path for the personal computer as we know it today. But the cube was just massively expensive because it was way ahead of its time, and Wozniak knew this. And there's this great scene in the new Jobs film where it's just Seth Rogen being like, "You're fucking up. You are fucking up so hard. Please stop. Oh God, I'm your friend. You have mistreated me so much, but I still want you to not do this. It's horrible. Please God, no. I am the nicest teddy bear ever. Hi."
Do you think somewhere out there is like Jobs Bates erotica written, like someone had, like the Rule 34 thing.
Like Norman Bates?
No, Bill Gates. Sorry, I said Bates,
Bates.
didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one.
That's what they
Oh,
called him in
Bates.
the office.
Yeah.
He walks in the office and everyone's like, "What's up, Batesy?"
Bill Gates is too long to say for me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. If not images, at least fanfic.
I would read that. I just want to know what kind of computer puns would lead to sexual activity between the two of them.
What about a Rule 63?
CPU
34
turns to CUP.
fanfic.
C or P. What?
C or P.
I'm gonna overclock your dick.
Rule 63 is just gender bending.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, make it sexy.
Yeah, we're making it sexy. Rule 63, 34, 85.
36, 24, 36. Oh, what a woman to have. She's a brick house.
So
Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Foxy.
Can I finish? We
No.
went on an amazing segue, by the way, because I was still talking about the. I thought game shows were real, and then we launched into this whole Kubrick thing.
How?
I don't know, but I'm gonna bring it full circle. We're finishing my thought.
Brody,
Okay.
you're gonna have great stuff to listen to.
Yeah, I can't wait. Fuck.
So yeah, she was just like, everyone dies, and I was blown away by this. And then I was like, is it like that for everything? Is Wheel of Fortune? She's like, yeah,
Oh, man.
winner dies. I'm like,
Winner
and- and
losers
the-
die.
Yeah, sorry, losers die, winner lives.
Winners die a little inside.
Yeah, they're never the same. And I'm just like,
Can I get an
why,
F?
Why would you want to do that? And she's like, well, there's the money for one, but also they just send you a letter in the mail and you don't have a choice.
The lottery.
Oh, my God. Your sister is a genius.
And she was like 11 when she was throwing this shit at me.
Oh, that's a great freaking segue, because did you guys read The Lottery in school?
Yes.
I was so terrified by that, like that idea, which is when did they make you read it?
I read the lottery in, I think, grade 11 or 12.
Oh, I read it
Yeah,
earlier.
early?
I read it like grade
Well, I read-
7 or 6.
In school, I read the lottery in elementary school just on my own.
Oh, it was part of my
Grade
my
9.
schooling.
That's twisted.
I read
Hey,
it, I read it in
12-year-olds.
grade 9, I think.
Was it part of your schooling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a crazy 9th grade English teacher, though. She was a nut.
I don't know if mine was grade 9 or no, I think it was earlier. And just the idea of being like, oh, by the way, this is how this works, sort of thing. And I know they were trying to teach us themes of like society and stuff like that. It went way over my head, and I was just like, no.
They're gonna kill me.
I mean, honestly, the thing I took from it more than anything was, why did it have to be stones at the end? Because they get stoned. They get stoned at the end, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm like, why can't they just do it more humanely? Why does it have to be stones?
And my favorite part is the person who wrote the short story for the lottery refuses to comment on it. She's just like,
Meh.
she was just like,
Whatever.
Take it as you will. Fuck off.
What
Fucker,
is
fuck
there?
that.
What is there another way to take it? Like
Exactly.
it is a short story. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can apply stuff to it and be like, it's like Hitler or something. Like,
No, because
that
Hitler
was just-
didn't have a lottery.
yeah. We're not going there. It was like, I'm like, we're running really
Let's not
close to
touch
making Hitler jokes. Yeah, no, it was weird having read that younger than I thought I would, sort of thing.
Yeah, I read it around. I think I read it around grade 8 when I found it on my own because I read The Giver.
I've never read it.
You've never read The Giver?
No,
Oh,
I've
I
never
read
read
it. I read The Giver in grade 5.
yeah.
Isn't The Giver? Didn't they do that movie and like?
It just
what?
tanked.
I don't
There's no
remember.
movie.
Is it a sci-fi film? Is it actually like science fiction? Because I
it's-
always thought it
it's-
like.
it's
It
dystopic
is-
future.
Yeah, not to the point that the movie made it out to be.
Oh,
There are
okay.
no flying cars in this book.
Okay.
There's a hovercraft.
Is there?
I think there's.
I honestly, I probably read Hovercraft and thought of the hilarious tubes with the giant fan that
Well,
you find in the South.
It describes basically kind of a futuristic like Harrier jet at one point that flies over the village,
Okay.
and everyone loses their shit.
Right, because they live in a village that's very
It's secluded. Like
Yeah.
society goes on as normal.
So M Night
elsewhere.
Shyamalan's The
The
Village.
village. Exactly.
That's the best way
exactly.
to compare it.
It's
That's the best
exactly
thing
like
to
the
compare
village,
it to,
except cooler.
yeah.
The Village is the coolest. It has the director in it. in a cameo. Like that's
M. Night Shyamalan's in The Village.
yeah. He's a park ranger.
He's in most of his films, isn't he?
Yeah, I think
cameos.
And
most of
I
his
think
films.
it started with
a
Signs.
nightmare.
I think it started with Signs. Yeah, he's a park ranger in it.
Oh my god. Do you
At
think
the
that-
end, right?
Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing out here? You guys are like old timey and stuff.
Yes. What's wrong with you?
Do you guys think that's why he race bent the Avatar movie? Just so he could put himself in it as a part of the Fire Nation?
I never saw it. I don't care. Like
That was one of the only movies I stopped watching. I was talking about this the other day. I was telling Zach about this because I was watching Kick-Ass 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching it at night, but I didn't finish it. I had about 40 minutes left of it. And I woke up and I was like, I gotta finish it. I don't like leaving movies unfinished. I had to stop. I had to stop watching.
yeah.
It's
I've never seen
I've never
an IP so massacred.
no. Remember the theory I told you about?
Yeah,
though?
it's the Ember Island. Yeah.
It's the Ember Island Players play.
Oh yeah. I don't want to get into it.
I mean, it's a good theory to explain why it's so bad, but that doesn't make it any better.
Oh, yeah, no,
it
let's
doesn't
spend
make
a
it
ton
more
of money.
bearable. Yeah,
It's like almost as if you made a real life The Producers, but it didn't work. Like it's like let's make the worst movie ever. We'll make so much money, and then
wait, like the play or film?
Yeah.
is it? It's a
I
play in
think
the
it's-
original
I
because
think
it
it's
started
a-
as a stage play,
did it start as a stage play?
and they're making a play about Hitler.
Yeah.
Because it's
Springtime for Hitler.
a spoof. It's a spoof about how ridiculous it is to produce a play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they made the film.
And how the most stupid
The
thing
film is
producers-
so the
But then
original
the-
is so good.
But then the film is about making a film.
No, the film is about making a
play. It's still a play.
It's about
Okay.
making a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have never actually seen any rendition of
You
the
have to
producers.
see. You have to see the original.
It's funny.
Yeah.
so
It's
good.
good.
Gene, not Hackman. Gene
Wilder.
Gene Wilder is great in it.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
he's so
Gene
funny.
Wilder is great all the time.
Yeah.